We'll be keeping tabs on that in Mai Mahiu and Narok areas. Now, the current heavy downpour in most of the parts of the country has had far-reaching effects in learning institutions. The Ministry of Education says the negative effects include damaged infrastructure, submerged buildings, and sanitation facilities destroyed in learning and teaching materials. At the same time, some schools are currently being used to host flood victims displaced from their homes. Kamche Menza looks at some of the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Education, even as schools remain closed indefinitely.
This is Lake Bogoria Primary School in Baringo South. The school field is flooded and the waters are slowly moving closer towards the classrooms.
Watu wametoka kwa manyumba yote. Watu wako ngambo ile, unaona hajavuka ngambo hii. Daraja imeenda.
Some of our rivers have changed course. And this will lead to people being displaced. And along the Perkera scheme, we've had a lot of washouts of the irrigation scheme around there.
Some of the roads here have been cut off. It is the same for Madumadu area in Kilifi County, where this road leading to a number of schools has also been cut off.
We have 10 schools marooned, but the worst is Madunguni secondary kwa sababu hata wezi ingia make maji yameenda kwa madirisha. Kule kwengine ni vipi watoto watafika hapo. The rains, which have also led to displacement of people owing to the flood situation, has necessitated the use of classrooms to shelter the victims. Osodo in Homa Bay County and Gutu in Mathioya Muranga County are some of the primary schools acting as temporary shelter for flood victims. These situations perhaps replicated in other parts of the country.
Tuna watu 100 ambao wamepoteza nyumba. Nyumba zimeanguka na kwa sasa hao watu wanaishi katika shule ambayo iko hapa karibu na sisi, shule ya Amoni.
With school reopening postponed twice, the second one being indefinite owing to the prevailing weather conditions, the Ministry for Education prior to the postponement, however, had issued measures to ensure learners and teachers' safety in basic education learning institutions. On swollen rivers and flash floods, parents needed to ensure their children report safely to school despite accessibility challenges. For schools hosting displaced persons, education field officers are required to liaise with national government administration officers to identify alternative accommodation for affected persons to ensure the facilities are available for normal learning activities. Schools with damaged infrastructure and learning materials will share resources with neighboring schools, use multi-grade and multi-shift model where applicable. Those that were completely submerged should strategize on how to recover once learning resumes. School administrations had also been directed not to host learners in schools where sanitation facilities have been flooded to avoid waterborne diseases. Heads of institutions were to report on the number of learners affected by inaccessibility, weather conditions and displacements. The reports were to be submitted to the CES Education between 8th and 10th of May.